It just it kicked both of us out. Hello, yeah, we guys. I'm about sorry I had a little difficulties. We'll be back. So let's just tap back into what we was talking about. We're talking about destiny. We're talking about is destiny something that is predestined? Can you walk into your destiny? Is your life already destined to do certain things through certain greatnesses? Um, is it? Some people believe it, some people don't. Me and Tanika were talking about that. So let me finish back what I was saying. Like, yeah. So what I was saying earlier, and before we got interrupted, by technicals, it's raining here. I don't know if it's raining out in DC, in Maryland.
Yep.
Um, but so that me being a chef, a full-time father, a full-time husband, going to school full-time, working a full-time job, what I'm saying, it was something that was meant for me to do and conquer, because that was good at it. But not only was I good at it, there were things that would structure me to be a great father, a great leader, a great provider in that field. So, there were things I had to encounter, to make me a better person, that made me the man I am today, along with, my parents. But, and that's what destiny, I feel like, I walked into destiny, but there were things that like steer me that way, what I'm saying? So I was able to, grasp and get hold to what God had for me. You know what I'm saying? Some people like for the ones that don't believe in destiny, I'll give you an example. You know, there are things that happen in your life you had no control over. It happened. You know, um, you didn't cause it, but it just happened in your life. Like our prime example, I've been in multiple car accidents, right? That I did not cause, but I was able to walk away and say that God is good, and allow my life to be still here and still striving to what I love to do, but I know God called me to do. You know what I'm saying? I love that when I'm cooking out, people smile on their faces, their stomachs are full. That brings joy to me. And and that's what I mean by destiny. You know, like I said, I woke up in the morning, getting ready to go to work, boom, a car hits me, you know. Um Totaled my car. I only had the car for 2 weeks. Totaled it. Lady runs a stop sign, hits me, bang, totaled my car. You know what I'm saying? But these are some of these things that happen to me. I look at it like life lessons, because you know what? Guess what? It took me a minute to get me a new car. You know why? Because I financially wasn't fit. I financially wasn't ready. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. I wasn't a good steward of my money. You know what I'm saying? So now I got to go back to square one. And now, you know what I'm saying? You might say it's a harsh punishment, but there were other things that was going on in my life that, you know, that I had to go through. But if I was putting myself in a better position, things like that tragedy happens, I'll be I'll be ready. I'll be well equipped. See, I wasn't. So see, that was part of my destiny, because guess what? It didn't allow me to move like I want to, because I wasn't being financially stable. I wasn't financially stable, even though I had a full-time job, even though I had I was going to school full time and taking care of family. You know what I'm saying? But it's still, what did I do? I didn't put my family in the best position, because if I did, when things like that happen, I'd have had the money. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing that. You know what I'm saying? I was focused on things that, just work, coming home, and just that was it. But I wasn't managing my money correctly. So, these are the things that when you say destiny, they happen. But guess what? If everything you're doing and it's supposed to line up to what God had for you, then when things like that happen, hello? You hear me? Oh, oh my goodness, what's that noise?
It's raining.
Oh Jesus.
Here, I know.
Yes.
It's like we're outdoors, so
So so basically, oh my goodness,
we can't hear
Jesus.
you. Hold on. I'm gonna come back.
Yeah, so we had a little difficulties, but yeah, that's what I'm saying to you guys. So what happens is, like, when you walking into your destiny, these things that will occur, you got to be prepared for it. You know what I'm saying? And when you prepared for it, then you'll be able to go through it, the way God has for you. You know what I'm saying? So that sometimes it's like that. We look at it from a natural aspect, and when you look at it from a natural aspect, you're like, oh, that's not fair. That it shouldn't happen like that. But when you look at it, like, just put yourself in the best situation you can be put in. You know what I'm saying? And if you're doing that, guess what? Then you'll be able to succeed in life. You'll be able to do the things that you need to do. But when you're not putting yourself in. So when tragedy comes, guess what? You're not going to be prepared. You're not going to be, able to, to do those things. You know, and so when you think about, sorry guys, when you think about those things like that, you got to really sit back and you got to say to yourself, you got to say, is that what supposed to happen in my life? Some people don't understand, this should happen or it shouldn't happen, but it happens. And what can you do? Someone talked about the third world countries. What's going on in the third world countries? Is it fair? Should it happen, and why it happened? It's a lot of things that you have to look at from a different perspective, a different lens, to understand why those things are happening. So yeah, I was talking about about the third world countries. Some of the kids are homeless, no food. Now, let me ask you something. Why do you think some of that happened? But some people don't look at it and see it that way. It's a whole lot, a list of things. The reason why those things are happening, and why it looks like, from we're living in America, why it's like that. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. What do you think about that?
When you say third world countries, what do you mean by that?
Like Africa,
Yeah.
I like Africa. Though some of those kids are homeless. They don't have no food or nothing like that. So how do you know how do you fix that? You know what I'm saying?
Um, okay. When I think of people individually, think about it like this. When you have people in life, they're all supposed to have their destiny, right? Which is they live their life in the way that they wanted and they have to continue. So I believe in reincarnation, right? That's me. I can say that out loud because I don't care what anybody thinks. I believe that you come back. Remember how we say old souls, we have
Uh-huh.
old soul people, and that's true because they've been here before or they've lived this life or whatever. So my point being that there are some people that have to come and live life in a certain way to learn or to go through and experience a different way. And it may not look good. It may not feel good. It may not, be something that ideally we want for ourselves. But that individual had to go through it. Let's just say Jeffrey Dahmer, right? I remember looking at that Netflix series, and Jeffrey Dahmer. I didn't know much about him, but when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's a different mindset. So when I felt like when he dies, he's gonna have to repeat life or whatever experience he goes through in a way that he may suffer. He may go through some type of pain to have, like, and I believe in karma. You reap what you sow. You always talk about the Bible. You reap what you sow is just like karma. So you have to go through another life cycle to learn and be better. Because the ascension of life, okay, let's say when I say ascension, I'm basically saying the higher self in life, when you become higher in the individual way, and you rise above the negative or the real low mentality of life. When you become ascension to go to a higher place in life, there's a journey, and the journey takes time, and it takes possibly multiple lifetimes. So we don't know, but it is what it is. That's why you have to accept people as they are. I say have compassion. It's always good to have compassion for people. There's nothing wrong with compassion, yes. But there's not much we can do sometimes. We hear a lot of brutality in the world of what we do to one another. But I always like to remember that we eat animals. So we should be expecting that we're going to kill one another. We slaughter mofos. We slaughter people, so we eat animals. Like, this is you eat or be eaten type of life. You are always going through a circle of you are killing to, survive. That is how we live. This is the life that we live. We have not ascended to a lifestyle of being free from having to kill. But we have to eat, right? And when we have to eat, we have to kill. All right, I'm done talking about that. I'm done talking about that.
Hold on. I want to go back to what you said. You said reincarnation. You say you believe in that, right?
Right.
So can you tell me what do you mean you believe in that? I didn't understand.
Okay. All right. We always talk about the Bible. The Bible always says that, Jesus was going to die and raise again.
Okay.
Right. There is a light body within us. So Jesus rose with his light body. And the fleshly body has to die. We can't keep this forever. But the light body is always going to rise. And we are not taught that.
Oh, I got a question for you. You said that Jesus rose in the light body.
Yeah.
So
did you see his flesh come and rise above? Did when they found him in the tomb, right?
No, they didn't find him in the tomb.
Right. But they, he was I'm trying to get my camera right and I'm just messing up. He was known for coming back and healing and putting miracles out there for a certain amount of time. I wish we had some people that know the Bible, but there were a time when, Jesus died, resurrected, and walked among the people.
Right.
There, okay. You remember that part.
Yeah.
So with that is what I'm saying is his light body, not his flesh.
Okay, but if he walked among the people, right? So you said he didn't walk in his flesh?
No. He walked in his light body.
So when they asked to see his hands, he showed them his hands, and there was a hole in his hand.
Right.
So you can't see. You got to be able to see the flesh to see that.
Well, okay. So let's look at it like this. There are some things you can't really explain with your own eyes. So things can be changed in the view. You know that his body was killed if they know that he was dead. But if you see, let's just say an angel. We believe in angels. We believe in our dreams. When somebody dies, we sometimes say that, oh, they came to me and talked to me and I talked to them. That is light body. You can look at some hand, and see that it looks like a real hand because your vision of it is your manifestation of what we see in our reality. Our eyes see that. But if you are truly with your eye of understanding and seeing things in a way where you're on the spiritual realm, you know that the light is what you are supposed to walk on this earth and, show people and show light and love. So that's the light body. I know what you're saying. No, it's not going to be what you visually see all the time, but also think of it in a way where you're dreaming or you see angels.
But what about the people who did not believe in Jesus and they went to the tomb and they did not see the flesh body? They're non-believers, so they were not. Some of them were non-believers that went to that tomb to see if he was still there. They went back to the king and said, he is not there. Who moved that stone?
Yep.
Right. So as me and you as believers, we see it with a spiritual eye. But what about the people who did not believe and they said, hold up, how is this possible? How is it that he is not in that tomb and no one man can move that tomb? So how do you explain that?
It's There's no explaining. There are people that will not believe and people that will believe. That's just it.
But you said, hold on. I'm talking about, you said with the natural eye, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said about the natural eye and
Right.
then the spiritual eye. I
Right.
said, so for those who do not believe and they can't see from the spiritual eye, they looking for the natural eye. So for the non-believers that look at the tomb, right? They did not see the body. So that's all they were concerned about is, okay, how did he get, if they say he rose, right? The people that do not believe, they look and say, wait a minute, how did he get, how he's not there? Why is he not there? There was no dust, there's no bones, there's no nothing. How is this possible?
Because they're looking through their natural eye. You said it.
Right. And so,
right.
But it has to be proof. It has to be proof that what they're saying or manifesting, that there is some proof in it. There's some truth in it that he got up and he rose.
No, there don't. Okay, there will be people that believe and people that don't. It's the narrow line. It's a wide gate with a narrow line to get in. Okay, that narrow line can only be seen by the ones that are supposed to see. That is why Jesus spoke in parables. You know, he spoke in a way where you had to truly interpret it in a way that you're understanding in your eye, in your mind, in your spirit, that knows what is being said. Because think of it like this. You're part of a group that only speaks a language that you know, right? And the group, people within the group, they only know. They keep their language, you know, as it's something that is sacred. They don't do that anymore in, you know, Christianity. It is supposed to be a sacred language of love, but it's twisted. So that's why you hear people in the natural way see things in a natural way and not spiritually. We don't see with our spiritual eye, basically, because we are taught the wrong way. That's how I say it. I say it all the time. We are being taught the wrong way to see, understanding, and know how to be in this life and how to truly love and give love and be among one another in a way where we can get along. It's okay, let's just say, okay, in the Bible, it says something about, you know, that's why a lot of people say we at the end of days, right? You hear the end of days a lot lately because of all that's happened with 2020 and, you know, all the dying that's happened and, you know, what's going on in the world. Yeah, we are. We are at the end of an age where there's an age in life where we stop doing certain things and we transition into another age of life. And Jesus in the Bible and even in Revelations, it basically, a lot of people are scared of Revelations because it's so gruesome, but it has so many things that are being said in a mystical, I'm calling it a mystical way. But the point is that when you are, you know, looking at your life and you see that there's a change happening, you have to adapt because the age is changing. Some people don't know how to adapt and become in a part of that age, and so they have to change or leave. That is like shedding your skin in a way, but they come back in a different way, but they leave in this body. That was their destiny. Their destiny was to live the life that they were supposed to live. They did their best, and then they were supposed to either transition to the new age of life where things are different and they do the different things and they adjust and adapt and grow from there, because you have to grow. Now, if you're not growing, you're going to basically, you know, wither away.
We're going to get. I'm listening.
So, I know you're listening. So, my point is that Jesus basically put out there to everybody that you are to live in this world and show love. Let's take the 10 Commandments, right? 10 Commandments, first commandment, love your God with all thy heart. So when I hear love thy God with all thy heart, I think of God being within you, because that's what they tell you. You know, God's within you. You walk in love. You walk with God. So God is within you. That means you need to know yourself. Love your God. How can you love your God if you don't know your God? So your God's within you. So love God first. Then love your neighbor is the next one. So those are the first two that we can't do right. So destiny for us, because of our ignorance and not knowing how to love, the first two commandments The first two. We don't know how to love. We just basically living this life and reckless and killing and just doing it up. We eating each other, Cannibalism is still real. I heard that shit is real.
Huh? Nah, it ain't no
That's
real
what
thing.
I heard. Like,
You
they
mean,
doing that.
you mean there are people who do it. It's not, I mean, so it's just people who do it. Doesn't mean there's real for a human being to do. No, it's not real.
No, it's not
It's
real.
not,
Even
no.
though they do it, it's not real. Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, we're gonna let that be. But yeah,
Huh?
you know what I'm saying. We live in this, life. So destiny is something that people are not taught. They don't know how to find their destiny. We are not taught our purpose. So we're gonna basically. I look at us in this world as the slaves. We are the modern day slaves, thinking that we're doing something. Slaves for the big corporations putting that money in their pocket.
So have you ever, other than Jesus, have you ever heard some other person coming from the dead and rising again? Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, there's a lot of that. Christianity has a lot of its stories, and I say stories in a way where what we read. I call them stories, okay? But a lot of the literature, let's say we're gonna act like we're educated. a lot of literature that comes from different Babylonian, even religions, and they, if you really do your research, you'll find out there's a lot of stuff like even Jesus. Jesus was supposed to be a virgin or born of a virgin mother, and the same thing is in different religions out there in the world, where a virgin mother bore a male, and he was to be the savior. It's always a story like that. So it's all repetitive. But
Okay.
there's a message that is to be heard. The message. We'll get caught up in those little stupid details. Well, this such and such, and this is better than that one, and they know the best, and they are the right ones. They know everything, but it's not. It's not caught up in that. We're not supposed to be that way. We're supposed to look at it in a different manner where we're understanding the message, and we're not taught that.
We're not taught that, right?
No. And no, don't get me started acting like I know what the message is.
No, I
just
got
say
you.
what I say.
No, I got you. But what I want to say is this. So you said all that, right? So what I'm saying to you is that if those stories, we had to find out it was true or not, right?
Right.
Me and you live in a different decade, different age, right? Life is like a circle, right? 360 degrees, right? So that means what happened will happen again. Is that correct?
Nothing new under the sun.
Huh?
Nothing new.
Now I want to. I'm going to hold you to that because I'm up with the next thing I'm about to ask you. I want to know. We are in a different age, right?
Right.
Okay. Have you ever heard or seen in this lifetime of yours and mine's, right? A child born without a person. I'm not talking about impregnate them with sperm. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about wake up in the morning untouched.
Yeah, you going there. You heard me have this conversation before. I know you.
I never heard you say that. I don't remember saying that. Yeah, I want to know. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, it's not seen. I've heard of it. And so, it was a documentary that was on some streaming device. I will have to do some good research.
Oh, yeah, please do some research.
I know you're going to do it, right? Because I've had this conversation.
Yeah. No, you did.
You bringing it back up.
I don't remember. I'm serious. You did. I swear that went past me. I don't remember. Yeah, come on.
But yes, women actually back in the day were taught how to have a child on their own. Yeah, I know.
Without a man.
The Buddhist, people that go and they meditate and stuff. A lot of it has a lot to do with spirituality. So there's a certain way in life that you live and you can connect one with the spirit.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to see this. I want you. I'm locked in. Yeah, I want to see this. Show me this.
Yeah, there and the documentary said that there are still women to this day. I don't know the country where she was, but she had a child, and they are taught that way. They are taught how to hone in on their sexuality, on their desires, on whatever their needs are. It was a mental thing, you know. Like even I was reading the other day about how people that meditate, I'm gonna call them a Buddhist. I don't know if it's Buddhist or not, but like a Buddhist type person who was meditating for a long period of time started to have a glow, which was like light. You know, they
Mhm.
started to they're resonating a light body type style,
Okay.
and there were witnesses of that. So if you know that there are people that are doing things in that manner with their own body, and you know, of course, their mind, it starts with the mind. It's like, come on. I mean, I mean, do you, okay, let me say it like this. Okay, it would be, would you not believe it? Okay, would you say, I don't believe it's true? You know, are you a Doubting Thomas? Remember, Doubting Thomas is the one that wanted to see the holes in his hand when you brought that up.
Yeah.
But Doubting Thomas, do you not believe? Because if you hear that it's something is out there and there's scientific proof of it, you still, are you going to say, I still don't believe? Or are you scared to believe?
No, see when you don't believe something, you have to, just like the word of God, it's like, studying the word. You have to study to find thyself approved. You know what I'm saying? And then what that means is that if you don't believe something, you have to do your homework to find out it to be true. You know what I'm saying?
If you
And
want to.
that's if you want to, because if you don't, if you want to believe it, you don't have to. That's up to you. You choose not to. That's your choice. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to believe it. But when you want to find out something to be true, you'll start doing research. You want proof. You want facts. You want factual evidence of it to be true. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just the thought of you saying that someone can have a child without having sex is complex. And why I say it's complex is because the body anatomy is very complex. You know what I'm saying? So for another human being to say I'm gonna have a child without intercourse with a man, it disrupts everything that I say the Bible stands for. And
Of course.
right?
Yes,
But
of
now, but hold
course.
on. So for that to be said, it would destroy religion if that was possible, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So riddle me this. Tell me this. Listen, that's why you have two nostrils. You have two eyes, two ears. You understand? A man has two pecs. A woman has two breasts. We have two testicles. You have two ovaries.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So for that alone is complex for anybody to even begin to say that you can create life in that form, in that way, without saying I need a man, or you need man and woman to create life. And before we were born, me and you, right,
Right.
there was a format, and that format, I'm not gonna get philosophical on it, you know what I'm saying, and biblical, because this is not the topic. But now that we're here, we're gonna talk about it. But look, before me and you, there was a format. There was there was Adam and Eve, right? And God created them two. And when God created them two, they needed one each other. God said, you need Eve, and Adam, Eve, you need Adam, Adam, you need Eve. So they became one. You know what I'm saying? They were intertwined. So life and civilization began with them two, if you may. But some people believe in the Big Bang Theory. But guess what? The Big Bang Theory, right? If it happened, it can happen again. How do you prove that? I would say to people who believe in that, how do you prove the Big Bang Theory? You got to have proof. Some people, the molecules and all, but show.
They're scientists. They're scientists.
And scientists, guess what? Scientists have to have proof. They only have assumptions. Assumptions. Listen, when I look at life, I look at the natural. I look at not just, we're not talking about spiritual now. We talk about the natural life. You look at the animals, you look at the insects. What do they have? Every insect, every animal has a female and a male to create.
Hey.
And guess what? And look, that's the dynamics of the things right there. Look, if you look at some of the animals, they have the same thing inside. The female does not have the same thing as the male.
Hey, there are animals that can create without a male. So, and I'll give you that too. Point is, yes, you're right. I agree with everything you said. Okay, I truly do. I do agree. I really do. But we have a level of ascension, the same word, higher level of being that we could be, but we are not. I accept it completely as yes, we do need male, female for creation. Okay. I definitely, but I do see it as there is a possibility that what is true about Jesus is also done in other places because they have history of other religions saying the same thing about a virgin woman giving birth. That's all. All the other types of religion, there are different multiple religions that have that same type of concept.
The concept, right?
The concept of a woman being a virgin and giving birth. That concept is not something that is Christian only. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but so go ahead.
I believe it. I believe it's possible.
Okay, so if someone, right, from another origin, they got a whiff of what they heard and they changed it and made it their belief and made it their, their faith, that's possible. You see what I'm saying? They heard, they say, no, that's a great story to sell to their believers. And so, no, seriously, it's a great story to sell to their believers. So then guess what? Now they're doing it.
Yeah.
Now they're saying, this what happened with us. They're selling that with the Christianity. Let's sell that too.
Right. Well, we're not looking for that. We're not looking for that.
You know what I mean?
Because it wouldn't be possible. They would have to actually do it. Have a child without, just do it. Prove it, right? If they can prove it, then
Then guess what? There you go. And guess what? I promise you this. There and I'm not saying this to be funny or anything. If they did, we would know about it. That not just about what they said or what. No.
You will not know about a lot of stuff. Come on, now let's be honest.
Okay, come on, talk to me.
Christianity, the Vatican. There's so much artifact in the Vatican, underneath the Vatican, that we don't know nothing about. And there's history that they don't want us to know about. Like, why would you think that we would know? We would not know. There's so much that we don't know because they don't want us to tap into it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want us to tap into it. They don't want us to, know that part about us, but they hide it. So religion takes their hierarchy stand to say, I got all this information that I don't think the people are ready to see. So I'm going to put it over here and I'm going to hide it. We're going to keep it right there and let them believe the Bible. They believe it. I mean, they're not making good progress on life. Christianity don't look good all the time, but that's how they started too. They were killing people to be a Christian. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if Christianity is killing people, come on. What type of religion is that? Like, we are really like, what's the word? What's the word when you are doing something and that there's a word, it'll come to me. But, when we do something we know we shouldn't do, we do it anyway. We kill and then sit up here and hide behind religion talking about love your neighbor because Jesus says so, and this, it's what's supposed to be done. It's right. But even though I killed you back in the day because you didn't want to be a Christian and you didn't want to convert, yep, you got me started, boy. I tell you.
Oh,
they're gonna be cussing at me.
Why would they go do that?
I don't know.
Why they gonna do that? But
I say things.
But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. We talk about we talk about we started on Destiny, but now it's getting real saucy right now.
No, we're not trying to make it saucy.
Nah, saucy in a good way, not a bad way. But look, so what I'm saying to you is this. is that in any other faith and religion, right? Why is it that in the Bible, right, you don't see no races? Like there's no race.
What do you mean? There's
Th-
always race.
Where? Show me. Tell me. If you know, show me. Tell me, because I pull the Bible right
Sumerian.
now.
You
Huh?
heard Sumerian.
That's what.
Sumerian people.
Yeah.
They were a race. They were a race.
What's their race? What's their nationality?
I don't think they were Sumerian. They were Sumerian people. You know, that's one that was in the Old Testament. So that's one I remember.
Okay, but what kind of people are they? Were they white? Were they black? Indian?
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said race. So
yeah.
Sumerian. I know where they from, but
yeah. You don't hear about that. No, you don't. But we live in a life that we talk about it, but no, we don't hear about that.
Why is that? It's not even in the Bible.
I think that back then they did not see race like we see it now.
They had slaves.
But they did. But hear me out. They did have group of people like when I said Sumerians. You know, Sumerians were Babylonians. They were a group of people that were a certain culture and way. Sumerians were too, in a certain culture and way. Is what I'm saying. So, but they looked at it as a group of people. So that possibly could have been the race. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. Honestly, I really don't. But so it's a good question.
So how did they get slavery? How did they start slavery?
Yeah.
Yummy. In my tummy.
Yummy. I mean, slavery.
Come on.
What do you say about slavery?
I'm trying to figure out now. Yep.
I think that slavery has changed, you know, within the times of, you know, life. There are people that are not fortunate than others, right? So there's the poor. We're going to call them poor. We're going to call them poor people. There are poor people in life that do not have the means to provide. And so the world has grown into a life of there was one big kingdom of people that had all the resources and they distributed out the way they wanted to. We call it the government. But that's how we as society have always been. So the government, we're going to call them the royal people, whoever they were ruling and taking care of the people, distributed it however they wanted to. Some are cruel, some are righteous by giving and loving. But it got twisted into slavery, you know, through the time. So like, think about it like this. Everybody has to work. We need a job. We need to pay our bills. You need to eat your food. So we all have to work to get that money and pay them bills and get your food. Not unless you have somebody else do it for you or you were born into wealth. But the point is that slavery has been perverted in a way where it was started as work because we all need to eat. And you back in the day, you had to go get your own food and care for yourself. But then it was a time when we had to do for other people and then we could make money so we can go buy or have things. And, you know, the whole, you know, buying and trading and, you know, getting things. So we've evolved in a way where slavery has become as big as it is in our history. But it wasn't like that from the beginning. I don't think so. This is all my opinion, of course.
No,
because I like to read and I like to put things together and I like to go out my little box. So my little knowledge, this is how I see it. That's all I'm saying. Slavery has been, everything in the Bible, I think, has been perverted. You know, it has been twisted into a negative. It has been, you know, looked at as a beautiful thing, but looked in a different way to be ugly. And everything is like that. But that's the duality of life. Duality, yin yang, you know, right, wrong, left, right, 2 hands, 2 feet. Everything is dual. You have 2 ways. There's no one. So you have to deal with the yin yang, the right, wrong, the blessings, the sins, you know, the prosperity, the poverty. Like there's always going to be the opposite of it. And when you go through life knowing that you have a choice of what you want.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
What?
Somebody made a comment. They
Okay.
said slavery was and is an economic concept over race.
Oh, I agree. I mean, I
I
think
could,
that might be
I
it.
could, that's it. But
I agree.
so what he said was basically, you know what I'm saying, that's how you know, slavery was mostly black people.
But okay, there was also a time where black people also were
They,
ruled,
huh?
ruled.
They
Like, you
ruled.
know, they ruled. Like it was like, you know,
They
we
had
were,
slaves as well.
yes, we were the
Yeah.
ones in you know, royalty. We were the ones. So, you know, there's a time and place for everything. It's not always going to be that way for every race where they have it for the rest of the, you know, generations of life. You know,
Mhm.
it is our time to be the ones in poverty, or to, you know, have this life where we are enslaved. But, you know, if you can see it that way and rise above it, but if you can't, and as people we continuously talk about it and not really do anything to make change, you know, what are we doing? I don't know. But it is, I agree with that
I
comment.
that's a great way to look at it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you know, that's see, mentally you could be enslaved. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
definitely.
And keep you down. You know what I mean? And that's what, as we talk, as the young man said that, you know, you think about, listen, that's why what's going on in the world with these, you know, celebrities, they talk about each other. Y'all, listen, I don't care what nobody say. See, that's a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? They Terry, yes. Listen, some people will do anything for money.
Mm-hmm.
Some people will sell a soul for money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so be it. I'm not one of those dudes. You're not going out. Listen, somebody asked me this question before. If they gave me $10 million, right? And you might say, this nigga, this, I'm saying, I ain't gonna use that word. They said, this dude crazy. $10 million to let 10 people have sex with my wife. Nigga, yo, is you crazy?
Right.
Is you crazy? See, some people will say yes because it's $10 million.
Right.
Bruh, no. And you can call me whatever. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I'm serious because guess what?
Right.
It's other things. See, people don't realize that it's other things that come with money.
Yeah.
It's a mental thing. You know, now you got, listen, you know what that would do. Some people say, oh man, my wife would be good. No, guess what? But you don't know, man. Listen, that no one told you the things that come with it. You know what I'm saying? They just said we give you $10 million if you let 10 people sleep with your wife, right? But they never told you that one of those dudes got syphilis, one of those dudes got AIDS. See what I'm saying? See, that's beyond them just telling you, coming to you and say, yo, this person gonna give you $10 million. You know what I'm saying? And now you let them 10 men sleep with her. We're gonna give you $10 million. See, they not tell you those things type of things because and I use that as an analogy because guess what? That's some of the things that people that's on high platforms, they selling their soul for money. They're doing certain things that they should not be doing. You understand what I'm saying? They don't and look, they like, yo, I'm rich, I'm famous, I got it like that. I could go buy me anything that I want. Okay, yes, for what? Just so you got all that money, right? But you ready to just basically sell your soul for just money. You know what I'm saying? Knock down your people for money. Because I guarantee you, they not. If you look at the whole scenario, you look at the whole picture. They not doing that to their own kind. They doing it. We're the only ones that do it to each other. Because like I said, there's certain things embedded in their head. You know what I'm saying? Some people like this is an old little trick. You know, a carrot likes I said carrot. A rabbit likes carrots, right? So you take that, if you take that string and you put it in front of that rabbit and you dangle it, that rabbit go, he can't get it. He trying to get it. He trying to get it. You know what I'm saying? And basically that's money just dangling in people's faces, and they'll do anything for money. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and that's messed up. But that's where I get from that economic concept over race, and that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? we black people like to spend money on clothes and all these fine expensive things, but guess what? You think the people we spending the money on, they care about us? No, they don't at all. They're just taking your money and saying this dumb idiot spending all this money on this when they can go and invest their money on something else. Because I promise you this, if we stop spending all our money on those Nikes, I'm not gonna sit here and knock it. I'm a person who buy a lot of sneakers too, but I have a lot of things that I value and I cherish. You know what I'm saying? My children, my wife, my place of business, all those type of things. So I invest in some of the things. So these are the things that I like. But at the end of the day, the people that's less fortunate, they go and spend $600, $700 on some shoes, and they probably living home with mom, living home with their sister. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that right there, you're basically saying exactly what I said. That is choices. Everybody has their choices. We are not on the same level in life. We do things differently until we come together and become better as like one, and kind of go on the same vibration of trying to be better as a people. Yeah, it's always going to be that way. Where we're going to see people like that, and we're going to see enslavement, and we're going to see brutality. Yeah, that's going to be life.
Right. Yeah,
right.
Because you got,
I've accepted it.
Huh? But you got, but you got to remember, it's people in general. You know what I'm saying? Some people got a messed up mindset. They do this cruel and wicked things because that's their mindset. That's their whole view of how it's supposed to be.
And
you know what I'm saying?
That is their destiny to do that and continuously do it until either they learn and grow, or they die, redo it again, and learn how to live in the life that they live at that time. Like, I believe it. I believe it with all my heart.
Hey, listen. The young man said it again. He said, "Black as a race is a social construct. It is meant to dominate, distract, and continue oppression." That's good. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, Mel.
Read it again one more time.
It says, "Black as a race is a social construct. It is meant to dominate, distract, and continue to oppression. Continue oppression."
Okay.
And now, look, you understand that?
Kinda.
I mean, let's think about it. Look, I understand it, and I receive that, and I get that, because at the end of the day, see, like me, I don't allow race to dictate to me who I am as a person. Just because I'm a black man, I'm not sitting in the bubble saying, "Oh well, this person got this and that got that." No, I work hard for what I want. So you know what I mean? I that's why I'm here now. I'm just trying to encourage people to don't let the world dictate to how you become as a person. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm doing this. This is a call for encouragement, enlightenment. You know what I'm saying? Uplifting, and not to tear down. You know what I'm saying? No race or a person or a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? It's always about encouraging. So and we talking about this is because that's important. You know what I'm saying? And now people got to understand, like, you got to grind. Yes, we got to grind extra hard. You know what I'm saying? Put that work in. But if you want to be successful, you got to put the work in. You got to put the heart. You got to hustle and bustle. You got to do that so you can become successful. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy. Nowadays, people want the easy way out, easy way relationships, easy way marriage. No, they want it instant. Nah, listen, I'm a chef, so because I say that, right, I always use food as an analogy. Listen, if you like oatmeal, right, instant oatmeal and still cut oatmeal is two different tastes. Two different. Mm-hmm. Some people want instant. Some people, and guess what? And the instant is instant. It takes boom, it's quick. Boom. Now 10 minutes is done. But guess what? The still cut takes 30 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on how much you have in that pot. Hold on before I go on. He said, yes,
and it's nutrition.
Yes,
nutritious.
The
whatever that
no
word
cut.
is.
Yes. He said, yes, I am a human being and I'm accountable and responsible for my own life. Of course. He said, yes, I am a human being and I am accountable and responsible for my own life. Yes, you are. Definitely. You know what I mean? We talked about this in a couple of sessions, Tanika. Look, for every action, there's a reaction. There's a response. There's a consequence. See what I'm saying? You got to be held accountable of your actions. You know what I'm saying? Not don't look at somebody else and say, you know what? That's my fault. I mean, that's their fault. They did that. No. They listen. And when I sit here and I talk, it's so many things that go through my mind, right? When you think about some of this brutality, right? Police brutality, right? Listen, I'm not condoning it. Some of the stuff is messed up of how the outcome, you know what I'm saying? The turnout. But guess what? Some of their responses could have been totally different as well. Listen, your response. Look, I'm a black man. I get pulled over some cops that are racist. But guess what? My response, not saying I'm a punk, not saying I'm a faggot. Listen, it's my response. And I'm like this. Okay, I'm not getting all belligerent and man. I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? All right, I'll give you an example. So, and then I won't just go on a rant rage. Look, I work in New York City. I got pulled over by this cop, and I had a co-worker in the car with me, right? Now, I had a little crack in my window, my front window, right? He pulls me over, and I see him follow me. He pulls me over, comes up to the window, rolls it down. Now, mind you, I know in New York City, you got to watch how you drive, like speed, because they'll pick you up quick for speeding, right? So I know I wasn't speeding. I drive every day. I've been going back and forth for 17 years. So I'm driving, nice speed limit and everything, right? So he pulls me over. He said, I said, calm. I said, why you pull me over? He said, you was speeding. I said, no, I'm sorry, correction. He said, no, correction, I'm sorry. He said, I pulled you over because you didn't have your seatbelt on. And I turned just like this, no exaggeration, no bull crap. I said, bro, really? Now, mind you, I said I had someone else in the car, and that person saw everything. I said, Jay, look at this. You hear this? I said, bro, you really gonna sit there and say you pulled me over because I ain't have my seatbelt on? I said, I know. I watched you look at me in your mirror and seen that I had my seatbelt on. I saw you. I said, bro, come on, really, man? I said, so he said, hold on. So he ran my stuff, right? So he said, I should give you a ticket for your cracked windshield. I said, okay, give me a ticket. Give me a ticket because you can't give me no ticket. I don't live in this state. I'm out of state. So for him to say he give me a ticket for a cracked windshield, there's no ticket for that. You know what I'm saying? It was a small crack. So I'm like, he said, oh, you got a crack. I should give you a ticket. I said, but you said you stopped me because you had my seat. I said, bro, I'm serious. I said, bro, you really gonna sit there and say I have my seatbelt? You came up to the car, you see my seatbelt on. And now I said, it's two of us in here. You really gonna say that? I said, okay, give me a ticket then. But you see, and I'm not bragging, I'm not saying that, but it happens. But my response was because I tell you, he was ready, and he had his hand on his gun, I'm serious.
Was he white?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to hear it. I had to ask.
but I'm like, I'm saying to myself, really, yo, you really going? You say that, but and I don't want nobody to think I'm just, like I said, I'm biased or anything. I'm just saying, we talk about your actions. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people didn't have the ability to do that, but then at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Some of them, you know what I mean? Some of them ran. They didn't have to run. Now I've seen multiple where they did some foul stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about foul. So I'm not agreeing to none of that mess. I'm not. I'm a black man, so I'm not agreeing to none. I'm not saying it's okay, it's cool. But sometimes you got to realize, you got to look at the environment you in, and you got to look at what can the outcome could be. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be, you got to be mindful of that. Those type of things. You know what I'm saying? So you should be humble, shall I say? You know what I'm saying? And humble gonna get you a lot. It's gonna keep you alive. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, that I just wanted to touch that because, yo, it's the world we live in is crazy. So
Yeah.
it's never safe to say, you know, that never gonna happen to me. No, don't ever say that. It can happen
Right.
to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you know what? I've never liked saying that. There's a song. It could have been me. I think it
Could have been me, should have been
could have.
me.
No. What's the short guy that does the gospel songs? Came out Stomp. What's his name? Kirk
Kurt
Franklin.
Franklin. Kurt Franklin.
Yeah, it could have been me. Like it could have been me. Something like that. Right. That
Mhm.
that song. I used to hate it. Because I'd be like, why would I say that about my life? Like, why would I want to say that could have been me? Now, if you are right next to it in your experience, and that's totally different, right? But for you to sit up here and be like, yeah, that could have been me, on the streets and poor and all that and homeless and stuff like that. I hate when people say that. But like, dude, like, why would you say that? Do you think that really could have been you? Now, if you was in the experience of it, yeah, okay. But yeah, I'm not gonna go on my rant either. Okay, I said what I said. So
I mean, listen, the topic was destiny, so you know we
right.
talk we went all over like just talking about in general, but you know these are so look, it could have been you, should have been you, might have been me, right? But
I'm not saying you can say that. I'm gonna keep that to my. I ain't gonna say
huh?
that. I'm not gonna say it. I don't say it. I don't like saying that could have been me. No, I don't want to say that. So I'm very picky about how I speak, and what I
got
actually say, because I think power comes in your words, of course. So, but yeah,
you. What about what I said earlier? I said I was in those car accidents. I could have died. I didn't.
right. And that's why I say your experience. That is your experience. But
Right.
those that have not experienced the life of someone else or what they're talking about, I don't like saying, it could have been me. Like that's silly.
I get that and I respect it. So I'm not even going to keep indulging about that. But look
I
here,
get
huh? But here, you know what? Listen, we talked. The message was destiny, right? Let me show you something. See that, and that's why I believe that our lives are predestined. This is already made out. Here's something real interesting for you. Most people that are watching and listening. Look, remember I was saying earlier about a car accident.
Yeah.
Okay, look what God allowed to happen to me in my life because there was you might say that's crazy, but I'm telling you because look where I am at today, you know, of how I'm living and how successful I am, right? Watch this. When I first got married, right? Look what I had a new apartment, new wife, baby, right? I bought a new car. My dad said, "Let me use your car." I said, "What? Nah, you can't use." Listen. Instead of me, saying it in a different way, I said, "Nah, you can't use my car." Just like that, right?
I can see.
Word. Just like that. I said, "Nah, you can't use my car." No kindness, no none of that. I gotta use none of that. I said, "You can't use my car." All right. Listen. A week later, I only had the car for 2 weeks. A week later, I was taking my ex-wife. I was taking her to work, dropping my daughter off to school. I was working 2 jobs. I dropped them off. I was on my way back home. I was about 10 minutes away from my home. I fell asleep behind the wheel, ran into a dumpster. Yo, listen. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't look. I could see everything. People around my car and everything. I just called on Jesus 5 times, a hand on my chest, right? As soon as I took my thumb off my chest, I was able to breathe. All I had was a gash in my knee, right? Now, mind you, I went to the hospital. You know the first person I called?
Your dad.
Guess what? My father dropped what he was doing and came straight to the hospital. My mom, she lived too far to come. At that time, she was living in Delaware. But look, regardless of what I did and how I said, I made my father feel bad about that. But look, it made me and my father closer from that incident because I realized that how I said it, how I made him feel in the midst of of it all, you know what I mean, I didn't think about his feelings. And look, I called him. And then you understand what I'm saying? Like I could have, like I said, I could have died to the point where the last thing I told my dad, no, you can't use my car. Mind you, I said I could. Listen, that's my experience, but people don't understand. Like that was one of my testimonies. But and you got to realize that it ain't about God, it ain't about Jesus. It's about me understanding. Look, that happened to me in my life, and I understand it, why it happened. You know what I'm saying? And it happened because guess what? Later on in life, which I have incurred, you know what I'm saying? How I talk to people, how I treat people, you know what I'm saying? How I make them feel, you know what I mean? And being that I learned that, you know, at my job, you know, family members, it's important how you speak to people, how you make them feel, because you never know the last day you'll speak to them. You never know, you know, how detrimental that is to them. You know, you never know if they're looking up to you and they look at you as a role model. They look at you as somebody successful, and they say, you know what, I want to be like that person. They're always speaking life into you. They're always speaking good things about you. You know what I'm saying? You want that. And so, you know, I just wanted to share that. And because, you know, it's important so people know that, you know, you got to cherish life, and you have to understand that sometimes, like, that's what we talk about destiny. Because see, look, was that supposed to happen to me? Of course it was supposed to happen. It made me a stronger, open-minded, you know what I'm saying? It made me a better person, better human being. You know what I mean? From that tragedy. Like I said, I had multiple car accidents. You know what I mean? I had one going to work. Brand new car. Didn't even have it a week. Watch this. It's going to blow your mind. Cop ran a red light. If I show y'all, next time I'm out here again, I'm going to show y'all a picture of what he did to my car. Guess what? They walked away. I walked away too. But he walked away, no nothing. No discipline. He was drunk.
Wow.
The cops came on the scene, said, we'll take care of this. I heard him. I said, wow. He left. The other cop that hit me in his unmarked car, his own personal car, walked away. They threw it up under the rug. But you think I let that stop me and make me upset? Did I have a lawyer? Did I get a lawyer? Yeah, I did all that.
All right, thank you. I'm glad you told me that part.
Huh? Of course.
I'm glad
but guess
you told
what?
me that part.
But guess what? Look, I got a lawyer. You know what the lawyer said? It's going to be tough because it's NYPD. And guess what? No one wants to go against the NYPD as a lawyer, even though it would have been a big case. But guess what? How bad it would have turned out bad. So I was like, you know what? I had to chuck it up. And I had multiple lawyers, you know what I'm saying? But that they were afraid to deal with that because listen, we know that we live in a corrupted world. We know we live in a world that can do stuff behind closed doors that you will never know about. Because why? Because that's how it is. You know what I'm saying?
Higher power. There's a power thing. It's a power trip. Everybody's on a power trip. Everybody want that power. And you know, when you can manipulate those, we call them little people, us, you got that power, right? That's what everybody wants.
Of course, you got that money now. That money, you got that money.
Power.
Word. That power. You got money. Yeah, you straighten up real quick. So if I was if I was famous and rich, oh, yeah. They'll settle real quick. Oh, okay, we're gonna do this right, sir. We'll send you a $2 million, $340 million. We'll send it to you. Yeah. All right. So you know that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, we were supposed to have a guest, guys, but unfortunately they didn't make it today. They was looking to reschedule. They said they can reschedule on Friday. But unfortunately,
Friday.
I know, unfortunately,
that's
but look,
not right.
No, but look, I'm going to be I'll reschedule another day, you know what I'm saying, another Wednesday, because I want you to be there. Because we got a lot going on this week too. Because I didn't even tell you. I got somebody coming on Friday, Saturday.
Oh, Saturday too?
Yeah, man. I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, no, not this Saturday. I'm sorry, correction. Next Saturday. You'll be available, right?
don't know.
I know you. Oh, my
It's
bad.
about to get
No.
nice.
Son, I
Spring,
knew it.
Summertime.
I knew it's coming. I knew it's coming. I knew it, cause man, listen. Listen. Hey, T, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Don't look. This we doing it local right now, but don't worry, we could take it. We could take it wherever. You know what I'm saying? I got the whole get up. I got multiple mics, so don't do that.
Okay.
We could get somewhere and link up and get our relax on. Hey, you know what time it is, huh?
I said that would be nice.
Hey, kid, where your phone at right now?
My phone is right here. I have it.
So you on your laptop?
I am on my iPad.
Oh,
it's nice and big. Like I can see it. I was like, goodness gracious.
Yeah, man. So listen, did you got to remember to always share, like, and subscribe. I know you subscribe, but you got to send it to other people so they can see us up on it on this big.
I ain't got no friends. But I do. I have my little bit of friends.
What you mean? Man, listen. Last Saturday you was like this.
What you mean? What was last Saturday? Oh, last Saturday. I mean, last Saturday was all right. But yeah, that was a group. Yeah. I thought about it. But yeah, I do. You know, people know about you. So I have done that.
Yeah. And like I said, you always look. And we always, just because your mindset and you think a little different than some people, you got to remember this is about enlightenment, encouragement. We got to encourage.
Yeah, but I'm a quiet person. I'm an introvert. I like my little, time where I'm just quiet. That's all. You making me come out my box. That's all.
Hey! That's it. That's what you want, man. Look. Don't worry, I got some introverts in my life. And they be like, they do not. No, seriously, they don't look. They be like, dude, this how they be.
Mm-hmm.
I be like, yo, bruh, come here, let me give you a hug, bruh. They be like,
oh Lord, you and the hugs.
That's how he be like, yo, so serious. Mine on just being so serious, like militant. I don't want to talk about that right now. Stop, please.
Why you asked me? Did I have my phone?
Oh, hold on. I want to sing you something.
We're doing this live, sitting up here texting each other.
Oh, you crazy. All right, I sent you something. No, but you said no, but this is. Oh God! First he was on the. I said, "Yo, Lord," I said, "Look," I said, the romantic. I said, "Oh my goodness, she on the boat. What in the world?
Yeah.
In the rain, the rain was like, I was like, oh Lord,
yep.
Oh Lord.
It was a good experience out there. Yep.
But yeah, all right, listen, it's about that time. Listen, I'm gonna close up, but always remember, guys, you guys have to share, hit that like button, subscribe to the chef is at Chef Dennis 32 channel. Me and Tanika is on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and sometimes we do special pop-ups. But most of the time it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6:30. We had a little bit of difficulties today, but we made it through. We had to restart over, but we made it through, and we appreciate you guys coming in, checking us out. And so she won't be with us on Friday, unfortunately, guys. So it'll be just me turning up on Friday, because I'm gonna have me something real saucy for Friday, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get it right. You know what I mean? So I'm glad everybody came out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody be blessed. And Tanika, you know the rest. Hey, stay blessed. All right, love you. Peace.
Love you.